Hello, I'm Li Hao. Welcome back. We have been building our client-side routing library with Svelte over the past few videos. If this is the first video you're watching, I've added the link to the playlist in the description section so that you can watch the previous video, right? Previous videos, it's a plural. We've come a very long way, and in the recent past video, we have been working on dynamic parameters. In the last one in particular, we figured out how we can capture parameters name in our URL and then use that as a props to our component. So when you visit any routes with dynamic parameters, that parameter will be part of your props. So we've done that, but realize that when we navigate from, since it's a dynamic route, you can have you may be moving from shop 123 to shop 456. It's still using the same component, but what we realize is that when we change any routes, we will destroy the current component instance and show the new component instance. So we don't want to do that. Since we pass that as props, right? We can just update the props instead of destroying the component itself. And that's what we're gonna explore in this video. Sorry to jump in, but I got an important thing to tell you, which is that if you're following along, coding along with me, the code for all this is on the GitHub repo. Link in the description. Just follow along. If you miss any steps, each changes are in individual commits. So you can just check out that commit and take a look at what you are missing. Now follow along. So here, let's take a look at how we can do that. Right? If you want to update the props, we can use a update. We can use a sorry, let me find where's my. We can use a update methods to update the props. So here is the section of the code where we get the component that we are gonna render. I'm gonna show on the screen, and then we load that component, and this returns us that component, right? The components that we're gonna use, and here we actually destroy the previous component and create a new component from here. So here we actually need to check if the current component is the same as the match component, then we do update. Else only we destroy and create a new one. Oops. Right, so that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully this will update the props, and hopefully this counter, when you click on the link, it will still keep counting from where it was rather than resetting to 0. So here the current component we have is a component instance. It's not the class itself. So I think we can store that somewhere, right? The current match component. Let's see. First of all, I think let's rename this to be current component instance, so that we don't confuse ourselves. This is the instance, and let current component is the class. So here we can check if the current component is equal to the match component. In that case, then we don't have to destroy, right? We do updates. Else, if it's different, then we do this destroy and create a new one. So if it's the same one, then how do we update? Well, we can go to current component instance. So this should be the same. Since these two are the same class, then this should be an instance of that match component as well. Here we can call update. I think it's update. No, I think it's called set. Set with the props, which is this match route params. Right, let's save this. Let's try and see. So here we are at our, let's refresh first. Here at our 007 routes, we have our counter coming up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we go back, hold on. Let's start with here. 1, 2, 3, and we click on the James Bond link, it will reset. Damn. Okay, something is wrong. Something is not right. Let's see. Okay. we never assigned this current component correctly, right? So current component equals to mesh component. Save this, refresh. So after we update, we store this reference of the current component, mesh component into this current component reference, so that later on when we do comparison, we can have the right value. So here we have counting out up to 15, and we click on the link. We updated the routes to 77. It's still counting up, and we navigate back, forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can still see that the counter is still counting up, but the props has changed. This props that we pass in has changed, and we've updated the props, and hopefully everything else flows, every reactivity that you have still works, right? Only that we are still using the same component rather than destroy and create a new one. So that's fairly easy, right? Let's see anything else that we need to take note of this routes dynamic parameters that we have. Well, if you come over here and change this to 007 again, you realize that our regex regular expressions is slightly a bit wrong, right? This matches item ID is this, which is incorrect, right? I think our regular expression should be improved on a bit, and also if we try to do this ESDF, this will also match as our item shop ID, right? This is still this is ESDF. This is not what we envision our shop ID to be. Our shop ID should be just numbers, numerics. So that's what we're gonna do in the next video, where we do when we're not just matching routes, we also do some routes parameters matching. Check whether these parameters that you captured match what we want as the parameters. If not so, then we're gonna move on and say this route is not found, or move to the next routes that maybe hopefully it matches, right? So that is like a route matching with some sort of validation or parameter matching, right? So next video, we're gonna talk about parameter matching in your dynamic routes. So stay tuned and get subscribed to get notified, so when you know when the next one is coming up. So bye.